Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel and smash that like button right meow. You know you're gonna have a good time. Just kidding. Now I'm noticing dust on my screen. Just kidding. My screen set up on my side. Now you can watch Dark Shadows for free right now on Tubi. Link in the channel description and the show description. They've also got it on Internet Archive. And then if you are, oh, pardon if you heard me twice. If you're interested, they've got the audio dramas available. Those are on Spotify. Also got the link for that down below. Spotify is free. And they do have I want to say most of them. It seems like there's two that are about I didn't say that. A character that's not on the show yet, but I don't know where you can find those because somebody I follow on Tumblr is reviewing them. So I messaged like, "Hey, where did you find those two?" Because Spotify does not like they've got like 3 or 4 minute. I didn't even listen to it. I'm like, what is that? Just like a preview or a snippet of it? Like they don't have the whole thing. And so I asked about that and they never got back to me. So it's like, well, fuck you then. I didn't read your post anyway. How's that? So I don't know where they are. Like it doesn't have anything to do with Willie Loomis, so it's not the end of the world if I don't get to listen to them, but just for the sake of maybe I want to go through and listen to all of them. I couldn't do it on Spotify. It's nothing I would say buy, but I don't know. Look, man, it's a fandom, it's a community. You're supposed to help each other out. WTF? But what is up to Patrick and want to go to? Want to go to says, "Good to see you. Glad I made it." Yeah, glad you made it too. Get comfy. It's a little bit cooler out. Maybe those horrible hot days are over with this summer. That would be nice. Oh, and I do have super chats opened up. I've got Venmo and Buy Me a Coffee. The links to those are in the channel description and the show description. 100% of that goes to myself. You're not paying for AI content. You're not giving Google 30%. Your money stays in the United States. I'm not spending it on hookers and blow. And I read your comment at my next show. So this is, just let me pull up the review I wrote for the last, the recap for the last review I did. Let me put it like that. Because I wrote it, but it was earlier this morning, so I don't know what it said. I don't remember what happened last time. Like, I just watched my last review video, okay, but if I hadn't have done that, I don't know what, I can't remember that. I don't know what happened. There was a guy and a girl and a house and some trees and some talking and in the credits, but what happened at the last review was oh, what's up, Danny? Glad you made it. Yeah, Danny was at the last review too. He cracked me the fuck up with his bungee cord line. But last time at the wedding, Liz decided that was the time to tell everyone that she killed her husband, and Jason helped. And everybody was there. The judge was there, Vicky, Burke, Roger, Carolyn, the cameraman, everybody was there. So the cat's out of the bag, and Jason there, of course, looking guilty as hell. But they go, well, we got a flashback episode to see what happened that night. And then we actually get down to the basement. The trunk is pulled out of the floor in the secret room. And it's completely empty. Liz flipped her shit. Like, absolutely lost it. Understandable. Totally lost her shit. Then the sheriff told Jason to get the fuck out of Collinsport. So first he wanted him out by sunrise. Jason talked him into, well, let me have until sunset tomorrow to, make my plans and GTFO. Sheriff said okay. So the next thing we saw was Jason creeping outside of the old house. He's looking in the bay window just when Willie has brought Barnabas this chest full of jewels, diamonds and pearls and necklaces and bracelets and rings. So Jason ran into Willie and let him know that he knows, oh, you guys have something to do with poor Maggie Evans and what's going to happen to poor Vicky Winters, and you better bring me a couple of handfuls of what was in that chest. So Willie brings him a brooch. That's not good enough. The next thing we saw was Jason breaking a window, breaking the bay window to get into the old house. And we have 971 episodes to go. One of the reasons I love seeing you guys. This is fun to just be live and just go with the flow with you guys, but it's also fun to drink energy drinks. I'm also tired. I'll be taking my notes. Like, I'd feel so much better if I had some extra caffeine. I wish it was. But what episode did I say? Oh yeah, 275. Okay, oh, it's at the bottom of the page. Cool. So episode 275 aired on July 14, 1967. It's still day 90. Now we have something new happening now, where before every single intro was done by Vicky Winters, but this time the intro is done by Carolyn. What I heard was that they would just play these intros for the episodes and that was it, but then the producers or whoever were told, hey, if you're going to use the Vicky Winters intros, you're going to have to pay the actress for it. And they're like, even though she's not in the episode, fuck that. So they put an end to that real quick. Like, pay her for her work even though she's not here today? I don't think so. So that's why that it's not like jarring. We still get the same kind of info in them, but that's why the change. We gotta pay her for her work? Gonna nip that in the bud. Well, we just have Carolyn doing the intro. But yeah, this is one instance where we seem to go back in time just by maybe a few hours, because the last thing we saw was that, I mean, this is not really major, but I just pay really close attention to this because the last thing we saw was Jason breaking into the old house, and we knew it was afternoon because Jason had agreed to meet Willie at the Blue Whale in the afternoon, so we can assume it must still be afternoon or getting on to the evening when Jason breaks in. But now we're in Collinwood in Liz's bedroom, and it's morning. So I mean, like, okay, yeah, the sun is still up. It's not a huge shift back in time, but it's just enough for me to be like, wait a minute, how is it morning? But okay, this is. I don't know if this happens too often, but this is just. It's not like Liz writing April 10th And it's probably getting on into the middle of May by now, but it's for the most part they sort of seem to pay attention to chronology. Patrick says we've had no rain here for weeks and weeks. Funny, really, as I'm usually, it's always usually pissing it down. See, we have had so much. Like you could have had some of that rain that was pouring into my window Sunday night. It must have been Sunday night because I was playing Minecraft late at night, and I just like it took 2 days. I put 3 towels down. Of course, there was plastic under it. Had a fan blowing at like the other side of the room for a couple of days to dry up the carpet. I just don't want it to get moldy over there and start to stink. It's bad enough with the hole in the wall, and like the whole bottom of it, rather than it being flat, it's starting to bow out into the room. I've never seen such water damage. I can only laugh at it because it's so fucking ridiculous. I can't like yes I'm mad about it, but I've also got to laugh about it because it's so fucking silly. But no such problem in Liz's room. She's just lying in bed and we get her voiceover. Now remember the last time we saw Liz, she had confessed to murder. And then yes, they got Jason out of the house, but Carolyn also ran off, so she's worried about her daughter. Dandy says he thinks he got Patrick's ring. I think so too. That's why like we had a flood warning. I was like, no shit. On the second floor. Anyway, Liz is thinking this, it's eyes closed, done up in bed, in her jammies. She's like, Carolyn, where are you? Where did you go? I can't move. Why did the doctor give me that injection? I need Carolyn. All she could say was, you killed my father. She hates me. Maybe I'll never see her again. She's got to know the truth. Carolyn, what did I do to you? Where are you? Liz really just does think Carolyn ran off and she's never going to see her again. I'm sure that's why she was so distraught. She needed to get shot up with a downer just to chill out. But we see Carolyn. She's just out on the beach, walking along the shore there. The same beach where Vicky found that pen a long time ago. Just out for a morning stroll. But now we're back at Collinwood. We're at the front door, and Carolyn walks up. She's home. She goes inside. And then up in Liz's bedroom, she's in her head. It's still the voiceover. She's just calling for Carolyn. Where are you, Carolyn? But there's a knock on Liz's door, and Carolyn walks in. She says, Mother? Liz wakes up a little bit. She's a little bit groggy. She says, Carolyn, is that you or am I dreaming? Carolyn, it's really me. I've come home and I'm going to stay. Liz, where were you? Carolyn, out, just wandering around. I had to decide a lot of things. What's the matter with you? Are you sick? Liz tells her, well, the doctor gave me a downer. Because we never really see Liz groggy. Carolyn's like, what? But she says, well, I'm sorry I ran out on you. I'll never do it again. I shouldn't have, but I should have known that anything you did because you had to. Oh, Lisa Gray, what's up? Hi, Nicholas and our illustrious, purple hat one. Oh, thank you, Nicholas. like chiclets. So Liz says, you don't hate me? Carolyn, of course not. You're my mother and I love you. Why do you think I came back? Liz, this mustn't be a dream. Carolyn, we'll get the best lawyers in the country. I'll be right there with you all through the trial. Liz, there isn't going to be a trial. I didn't kill your father. Jason lied. Carolyn, you told me you saw him dead and you buried him in that room. Liz, there was nothing in that room, just an empty trunk. Carolyn, you didn't kill my father? Where is he? Liz, he went away with Jason. Carolyn, and Jason came back to blackmail you. Then it's over. And my father could still be alive. Liz, yes. She nods out. So Carolyn says, it's all over. Dandy, Carolyn decided she didn't want to be homeless. Yeah, she can't just start a living at the Collinsport Inn. What it's a few rooms down from Burke. I went to live at the beach, but then I realized I wasn't a fish or a seagull. And then it got cold, so I came home. So I mean, she could have just been like kicking it in the bar all night, just thinking. I don't know how cold it gets up there. But, I mean, she's got a car. It's not like she was just out walking, sleeping under a bridge for the night. Well, my clothes got dirty. You know how it is. I didn't want to go to a laundromat. A Stoddard, a Stoddard using a laundromat. Oh my God, the scandal. So yeah, I came home. But now it's later on. It's more into the afternoon. Liz is sitting up. It seems like the downer shot wore off, and she's waking up, but she's just hanging out in bed right now. But Carolyn comes in. She's got a cup of coffee. Hands it to Liz. Oh, Lisa says, I am vertical, so that's something. Damn straight. It beats the alternative. But Carolyn hands Liz the cup of coffee, on a saucer. They're not heathens, but Carolyn tells her, "I thought you were going to sleep all day." I phoned the sheriff, and he filled me in on the details. Liz must still think she was dreaming. She says, "So you came back even though I killed your father, or even though you thought I killed your father." Carolyn says, "I didn't know my father. I did know you. I know you wouldn't deliberately hurt anyone. He must have been very cruel to you." Liz says, "Yes, he was a cruel man, but I never wanted you to know that." Carolyn, "It's an odd feeling, knowing that he's alive somewhere." Liz, "I hope he never tries to come back here. At least I divorced him. He has no hold on us now." Carolyn, "Well, it must be a strange feeling for you, knowing he's alive when all these years you thought he was dead." Liz, "Yes, it is." Carolyn, "Why didn't you tell me the truth?" Liz, "I was afraid it would make you hate me and turn you against me forever." Carolyn, "Just maybe when I was little, I might not have been able to understand, but I'm not a child anymore. Don't you know you can tell me anything and I'll try to understand?" Liz, "Well, I know now." Carolyn, "When I think that you almost married Jason, when I think of all the torture he put you through all those years just for the sake of money, how could you let him get away with it?" Liz, I wanted to put an end to the past. I didn't want revenge. He's gone now. The sheriff gave him 24 hours to leave. I'm sure he's 100 miles away by now. Carolyn, I wish it were 1 million or 2 million. I hope he's gone to the end of the earth. Patrick says football season starts next week in England. Come on, you Spurs. Oh, yeah, it does happen in the colder months, doesn't it? Now it's getting on in the day. It's closer to sunset because we hear, well, we're in the drawing room at the old house. We hear the clock chime 6 p.m. And there's Jason. He's closing the window. And he's just looking around, just, probably just looking for anything loose out that he can stuff in his pockets and run. But he's just very interested in his surroundings. But as he's looking around, he sort of gets stuck looking up at the portrait of Barnabas. He's just kind of staring at it for a little bit too long, just backing up a little bit, still staring at that portrait. Then we hear Willie says, Jason, what are you doing here? Jason, tending to a little unfinished business. Willie says, you've got no business here. The sheriff told you to get out of town by sundown. Jason, I know what the sheriff said. Willie, they'll catch you. They'll put you in jail. Jason, you have no faith in me, Willie. I can take care of myself. So he heads over into the foyer, and, Willie's there just right behind him. He says, you're taking a big chance. You can wind up in big trouble. Jason, you're not threatening me, are you, lad? Willie, I'm thinking about you, Jason. Jason, well, that's very touching. Starts looking through drawers. You know how I tell you there's the little desk in front of the stairs. It's got a drawer in it. He's opening that up, looking through there. Willie says, you got to get out of here. You're not safe here. Jason, I don't think the sheriff will bother looking for me here. Willie, that's not what I mean. Jason, then what do you mean? Willie, I mean, Mr. Collins, he's here in this house. Jason, oh, and he can't hear us, is that right? Willie, no, but very soon he'll come into this room and he'll find you. Jason, I can take care of Mr. Barnabas Collins. So he heads back over into the drawing room. He's still looking around for something. Willie says, why did you lie to me? You said you were leaving town. Why didn't you? Jason's, looking through drawers, opening stuff up, just not kind of half paying attention to Willie. He's more concerned with finding something to steal. Jason said, we made a bargain. You didn't live up to your end of it. Willie, I brought you the jewel. You said you'd leave town if I did. Jason, do you think I'd settle for that? Willie, it's all I could get. Jason, you're lying. There's a fortune in jewelry hidden somewhere in this house, and I intend to find it. So he starts heading up the stairs, gets about halfway up. Willie's right there. He says, you're wrong. There ain't any jewels except the one I gave you. Jason, well, what were you holding in your hands last night? Willie, holding? Jason, in case you forgot, you were holding a box, and there was a fortune in jewels in it. Willie, you saw that? Jason, through that window, and I know they're hidden somewhere in this house, and I'm gonna find them. Where are they? Willie, I can't tell you. So Jason steps down off of the stairs. He says, "You're going to tell me." So Willie's backing up. He says, "I can't." Jason says, "You better not cross me." Willie says, "Listen to me. We're still friends." Jason says, "We're friends, past tense." So he slaps him. And when Willie's kind of spun around, Jason grabs his arm, twists it behind his back, says, "Now, where are they?" Willie says, "I can't tell you. I can't." Jason, "Are you going to tell me, or am I going to twist your arm right off? Where are they?" Willie, "In the basement." Jason lets him go. Says, "That's more like it. Now you and I are going down into the basement, and you're going to show me where they are." Willie, "We can't go down there. Mr. Collins is down there. You got to believe me." Jason, "I don't care if he's down there or not. I'm not leaving until I get what I came here for." So Willie says, I got to tell you, it's the only way I can stop you. Mr. Collins, he isn't alive." Jason's, "What?" Willie, "He can walk at night, but he's dead. If you go down there, he'll kill you, or worse." Jason just laughs right in his face. Says, "We're going down into that basement, Willie." So he just heads off. It's like there's a door behind where the camera is. So Jason just heads on that way. Willie says, "No, Jason, no. The sun is about to set. You don't know what you're doing." It's too late. He's got to rush after him. He can't. He's rather crazed. He's making Willie look like the sane one, so you know something's wrong. Lisa says, "Hockey season is upon us here. The 15-year-old will turn over a new leaf come January. Then he can cart himself to all those." Then he can cart himself to all those practices and games. It's one thing when you get off of a shift. It's another thing when you get off a shift and you have to drive yourself. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's different. Sometimes you feel like driving yourself home. Sometimes you just want to close your eyes and sleep in the car. Like, dude, I don't care where I am. I'm just tired. So we're down in the basement. You know, when you go down those stairs, you're just right there in the room with everything. So Jason's looking around, like everything that's out in the drawing room and the basement. Like, you can't just stuff it in your pocket and walk out. You just can't take a whole ass candelabra or an armful of books and expect to like get away with that. You'd have to have it under your coat, or so you just want something you can put in his pockets and go. He saw that chest of jewels. That's what he wants. But Willie says, "You shouldn't be here, Jason." Jason, "Oh, keep quiet, Willie." Willie says, "I tried to warn you. I tried." And that's when Jason sort of really realizes what he's looking at in here. I mean, like there's candles lit. It's like, what kind of a room is this? And that coffin, what's that doing here? Who the hell just keeps a coffin in their basement? Willie says, "You stay away from that. You mustn't go near it." Jason, "Now why is that, I wonder? Is it because the jewels are hidden in there?" So he starts heading over to it. Willie stops him. He says, "Jason, you mustn't. You can't." Jason says, "Get away from me." Willie, there aren't any jewels in there. Jason, well then where are they, Willie? Willie says, you want the jewels? Jason, yes, I want them. I'll find out soon enough. So he starts he gets his hand on the lid of the coffin. So Willie puts his hands down on it. He said, I'll get you some. They're on the table. Jason says, get them. So Willie heads over. There's a little end table thing there with the drawer in it. He opens it up, reaches his hand inside, takes out a fistful of jewels. There's even one like sparkly end of a necklace or a bracelet. I like fistful of like sparkly jewels. Like, bruh, I'm sure it's worth a lot more than a brooch. But he takes that out, holds it up so Jason can see. He says, here, take them and get out. Jason says, they're not all the jewels, Willie. Willie says, there's some Barnabas wants me to sell. The rest are sealed up in the wall. I haven't got time to get them. Jason, they weren't sealed up in the wall last night. Willie, Barnabas told me to put them there. I put them there this morning. Jason, you're lying, Willie. Willie, I'm not lying. Take these. They're worth a fortune. Jason, I want the rest of them. Willie, I told you they're sealed up in the wall. Jason, I don't think they're sealed up in the wall at all. I think they're hidden right here in this coffin. So Willie he's got his, jewels in his one hand. He puts his other hand on top of the coffin. He says, they're not in there. You gotta believe me. Jason, then why is this coffin here? Willie, because it's his coffin. Jason, come on, don't start that again. Willie, please, Jason, you've got more than enough. Get out of here before it's too late. Jason, I'm going to open up this coffin, and you're not going to stop me. Willie, okay then, open it up. I tried to warn you. I tried. So Willie just backs up. Jason, yes, that's right, Willie. And I wouldn't listen to you, would I? So he gets his hands on the edge of the lid. He opens it up, creaks open, looks inside, and then a hand comes up and grabs him by the neck. And we see Barnabas's portrait in the drawing room for the credits. Can't help but think of how crazed Willie was to find those jewels. 65 episodes ago or so, and just how crazed he was to get into the mausoleum and open up that coffin. It's almost like we're seeing that mirror. Just Jason just wanted a few handfuls, and he wanted the entire chest, and you're not going to stop him. He's going to open this coffin no matter what. Same thing. Getting grabbed by a hand with this oval, a stone ring on the right index finger. Like, I'm sure if somebody had Willie right there to tell him not to open that coffin, he wouldn't have listened either. So it's I don't know if he was thinking about himself at the time, but if somebody would have stopped me, I don't think they could have. And he can't stop Jason right now, so he's doing what he wants. Fuck around and find out. Yeah, so episode 276 Aired on July 17th, 1967. It is still day 90. We get the intro done by Maggie this time. And they reuse the end of the last episode where it's Jason down there in the basement saying how he's gonna open up the coffin, and Willie's trying to stop him. Here, take the jewels. Jason's like, no, I know they're in the coffin, and all that. Him opening it up and all that. So they didn't reshoot it; they reused it. So we do go through the intro credits, come back, and we see it's Jason lying on the ground. And it must be nighttime now because there's Barnabas. He slowly walks around him and goes up to his coffin to close the lid. Willie steps up, looks down at Jason. He says, "Is he?" Barnabas, "Yes, he's dead." Willie, "You killed him." "Killed him?" Barnabas, "How could I let him live? He knew too much." Willie, "He's dead. Jason's dead." Barnabas, "What was he doing down here?" Willie, "I had to bring him here. He saw the jewels. He was prowling around outside last night, and he saw them through the window, and he was crazy to have them." Barnabas, "Go on." Willie, "He broke into the house this afternoon when I was out. When I came back, he was still here. He made me tell him where they were. He would have killed me if I hadn't." Barnabas, "You know I'm vulnerable here before the sun goes down, and yet you brought him here." Willie, "Well, the sun was about to set." Barnabas, "I should punish you, Willie." Willie, "No, Barnabas." Barnabas, "Your job is to guard me, and you placed me in danger." Willie, "I just couldn't help it. He made me bring him here. He would have killed me if I hadn't." Barnabas grabs Willie by the neck and backs him up against the wall. He says, "If you betray me again, you will meet a far worse punishment. Do you understand?" Willie says, "Yes." Barnabas lets him go. He says, "I'll deal with you later. The job at hand is how to dispose of Jason's body. He must be buried in a place where no one will find him." Willie, "Well, where can you bury him?" Barnabas, "We'll take him to the Collins family mausoleum. We'll bury him in the secret room. That room has been undiscovered for almost 200 years. They'll never find him there." Willie, "He was always curious about the tomb. Now he'll be put to rest there. Forever." Barnabas, "Help me carry him upstairs. As soon as it's dark enough, we'll dispose of the body." So Barnabas heads over by Jason's feet, and so Willie heads over by Jason's head, and he starts to bend down to pick him up, but then he stops. He starts to cry. He's got to turn away. He can't do it. So Barnabas says, "What is it, Willie?" Willie says, "I can't touch him." Barnabas, "You constantly surprise me. Are you squeamish about death?" Willie, "He was my friend." Barnabas, "Your friend? But you told me he tried to kill you." Willie, "Yeah, but a long time ago before we came. We were friends." Good friends. Barnabas. You really are appallingly sentimental. Willie, you wouldn't understand. Barnabas, why? Because I never had a friend who died? Willie, did you? Barnabas, yes. Once. Long ago. Willie, was it Josette? Barnabas, no. She lived long before I knew Josette. She died when she was very young and very innocent. She was very dear to me. I mourned her death for a long time. Willie, I never heard you talk this way before. You sound almost... Barnabas, almost human. Willie, I wasn't going to say that. Barnabas, well, this isn't getting our work done. Let's get it over with. So Barnabas, again, he goes back to lift Jason's feet, but Willie's doing most of the work. Because Willie goes to, like, his head, and he's the one who's got to put his arms underneath Jason to lift up most of his torso, while Barnabas is just holding his legs at the end there, doing the least. You killed him. You do the heavy lifting, but okay, whatever. But they finally get him up off the ground, and Willie looks over. It's like, Barnabas, Jason's cap. Because he had his hat on at the time. Barnabas says, leave it, we'll dispose of it later. So they head on upstairs. Barnabas heads up first, and there's Willie doing most of the work. They take Jason upstairs. But then the camera turns to the right, and there we see Sarah, and she's just tossing up her ball, catching it. Does that a few times. Then she walks over to the hat on the ground, picks it up, and sets it on top of Barnabas's coffin. Dandy, yeah, bye-bye, Jason. Lisa, so much for Jason's quest. Yeah, it was a good idea until there was a vampire in the mix. Dandy said Willie should just hire some movers in the morning to move the coffin out into the sun. Yeah. We'll do it, but why do you have a coffin in this house? I don't know. It was like that when I got here, and I want to get rid of it, but it's too heavy to just hurry up and do it when the sun's out. No, you can't do it tonight. You got to do it now. While he's packing his bag to get out of town. See, why can't he just... I mean, it wouldn't kill him, but he could definitely fuck with Barnabas. Like, just open up the lid and plug in a sun lamp. Oh wait, they don't have electricity. Get a generator or a battery. That way, like he'll scare the shit out of Barnabas when he wakes up. But it's just a sun lamp. So Barnabas just wakes up with this horrible tan that just ends at his neck. Like Barnabas wouldn't beat his ass for that. Can't beat tan, Willie. It won't go with my wardrobe. You know I can't go shopping at night. Hits him with the cane. Yes, as happy as I am that Jason's dead. I mean, he didn't have to die. I'm just glad he's not fucking with the Liz. But okay, he was being a jerk to Willie. He's being a jerk to everybody. Like, it's like happy as I am. Like, yay, we don't gotta deal with him anymore. Oh, Willie's sad about it. Damn, these mixed feelings. Like, since he's not cool with it, I'm kind of sad. Why couldn't he have just left town forever? But Jason would have just found a reason to come back in a year or something like that. So he's just too greedy for his own good. I guess it was his time. So there's that. But now we are in Dr. Hoffman's office up at Wincliffe. And Dr. Woodard is also there. He's got the sketch that Sam did of Sarah. We haven't gotten to see it before. It's really good. It's done straight on, which is kind of weird to me because when he was there with her, he could only see the side of her face. So he must be a really good artist to know what her entire face looks like, just from memory and her sitting profile to him. But oh, okay, damn, Sam. I guess you're worth the money. But yeah, Dr. Woodard's got that sketch there, and he's asking her, have you shown the sketch to Maggie yet? Dr. Hoffman, not yet. Dr. Woodard, why not? She may recognize her. She might say something to help us locate her. Dr. Hoffman, I'm afraid she may suffer a setback if we show it to her. Dr. Woodard, I'm willing to take that chance. Dr. Hoffman, I thought you were concerned about Maggie. Dr. Woodard, I am, but I'm convinced the best way we have of helping Maggie is to find the maniac who killed her. And I'm convinced that this little girl will lead us to him. Dr. Hoffman, she'll see the sketch in time. Dr. Woodard, every day we delay increases the chance that that madman may find out Maggie is still alive, even tracking her down here. Dr. Hoffman, oh, she's quite safe here. Dr. Woodard, well, you may feel secure, but I don't. I still feel Maggie's life's in danger. I insist we show her this picture today. Dr. Hoffman, insist? I think you've forgotten that Maggie Evans is my patient now. Dr. Woodard, well, she's my patient too. I'm going to show this picture to her today, with or without your permission. Dr. Hoffman, I assume you'll accept full responsibility for the consequences. Dr. Woodard, I will. So just then there's a knock on the door. Dr. Hoffman says, well, there she is now. Hollers for them to come in. A nurse brings in Maggie, Nurse Jackson. So Dr. Woodard says hello, and Dr. Hoffman tells the nurse to just wait outside. Dr. Woodard says to Maggie, says, do you recognize me? Maggie, no. Dr. Woodard says, I'm Dr. Woodard. Maggie, doctor? Dr. Hoffman asks her, how do you feel today, Maggie? Maggie, fine. Dr. Hoffman says, well, sit down. I want you to look at these pictures and tell me what you see in them. I hope she's not going to give her the ink blot test, but first Dr. Woodard says, well, before you do that, I have a very special picture I want to show you. It's a picture of a little girl. He turns it around, shows it to her. Maggie, little girl? Dr. Woodard, do you recognize her? Maggie looks at it. She says, She doesn't know. So Dr. Hoffman says, well, she obviously doesn't. Dr. Woodard says, please take another look. Try to remember. Have you seen this little girl before? Maggie, I don't know. Dr. Hoffman says, it's no use. You're just confusing her. Dr. Woodard says, I'm afraid you're right. Maggie's still looking at the picture, and it's like it comes back to her. She says, Sarah! Dr. Woodard, what did you say? Maggie, the little girl. That's Sarah. Dr. Woodard says, then you recognize her. Sarah who? Maggie, Sarah. Dr. Woodard says, you don't know her last name? Maggie, Sarah. like it's her last name too, but Dr. Woodard says, well, how did you come to meet her? Maggie, she came to play with me. Dr. Woodard, where were you when she came to play with you? Maggie, in the room. Room. Dr. Woodard, what room? Maggie, I, I. Dr. Hoffman says she's getting excited now. You're pushing her too far. Dr. Woodard says, don't get upset, Maggie. There's nothing to be upset about. Now, you and Sarah are friends, aren't you? Maggie, yes, friends. Dr. Woodard says, how did you become friends? Maggie, well, she came into the room. Room. Dr. Woodard, tell me about this room. Maggie, I'm scared. Dr. Woodard, there's nothing to be scared about. Dr. Hoffman says you pushed her too far. Now that's enough. Dr. Woodard, don't try to stop me now. I'm just beginning to get someplace. Like, let me cook, bro. He says, now I want you to stay very calm. Try to tell me what you remember about this room, where it was. Maggie's, she's getting freaked out, man. Just back off. Dr. Woodard says, you do remember. Maggie, I wanted to escape. Dr. Woodard, escape from where? Maggie, the little girl. She said she'd help me. The riddle. 1, 2, away they flew. Dr. Woodard, what's that mean? Maggie, 3, 4, near the door. Dr. Woodard, what door? Where? Maggie, 5, 6, count the bricks. The bricks. And she gets up and she starts like pressing, like miming in the box, like she's pressing the bricks, going through the motion again. Dr. Woodard asked, what's that mean to you? Maggie said, to escape. Escape. Dr. Woodard, escape from where? Maggie, that room. I want to get out. I want to escape. I can't. Dr. Hoffman, you've asked her enough. Now she's getting hysterical. Dr. Woodard says, Maggie, where were you? Maggie says, little girl, which way? Dr. Woodard says, you're remembering, aren't you? Tell me. And Maggie starts singing London Bridge. You push her too far, she starts singing London Bridge. You're not going to get anything else out of her. So she starts singing London Bridge. Dr. Hoffman gets the nurse to take Maggie back out. She says, tell her or take her to her room and give her a sedative. So they both, Maggie and the nurse, leave. That was just too much. Dr. Hoffman says, well, I hope you're satisfied. You managed to impede the progress I made with Maggie once again. Just as you did when you brought Sam and young Haskell to see her. Hey, thanks for nothing, dude. Dr. Woodard says, well, on the contrary, I think we made progress today. Dr. Hoffman, all we found was that she was in a room somewhere. Everything's in a room, man. What the hell? We didn't find out anything. We're in a room right now. Dr. Woodard says we did establish a connection between Maggie and this little girl. If we can locate this girl, we might find out what happened to Maggie. I'm convinced this child will give us the clue that will break this thing wide open. Everything's a room, man. What the hell? Oh. Just realizing just now I made a mistake. It's okay. I caught it in time before I made a mistake, but I'm realizing it's an issue right now. It's yeah, it's okay. I can. We'll do it live. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Okay. So now we are in Eagle Hill Cemetery, and it is now it's day 91 because we see Willie and Barnabas and they're carrying Jason, but he's all wrapped up in a sheet. So like we can't see the actor. I don't know, it seems kind of heavy though. Did they wrap up some dude to just like, okay, you're gonna be a dead body in this scene? And then we hear the clock chiming 2 a.m. So that means it's day 91. Okay. And it's just them, walking past the grave slowly. It's always foggy in that cemetery at night. I don't know what causes that, but it's always foggy at night there. And they're just carrying him on through and into the Collins family tomb in the mausoleum there. They set him on that metal sarcophagus while Willie goes and pulls the ring to open the door, and then they carry him the rest of the way through and close the door, of course. They really just leave that door open. They are very good about closing. But then we hear the clock chiming 3 a.m. So took an hour to bury him. Is that good? Is that slow? Is that what's the burying a guy speed run any percent an hour? So we're in the secret room, and it's Willie's got the shovel, and he's just tossing the last little bit of dirt on the ground there. Like we can't see the ground there. We just see the shovel with the dirt. He's just tossing the last little bit of it there. So Barnabas says, "Say farewell to Jason McGuire, Willie. It's ironic that a man who loved life and his freedom as much as he should end up in a narrow, unmarked grave." Willie says, "Let's get out of here." Barnabas, "What's the matter, Willie? Don't you like it here?" Willie, "I just want to go." Barnabas, "All right. Goodbye, McGuire. You might have lived, but your greed destroyed you." So Willie just does want a GTFO. So he leaves first, is carrying the shovel. So he, sets it down. Well, Barnabas comes back into the tomb. Willie pulls the ring to close the door, picks the shovel back up, heads for the gate to leave. Looks back at Barnabas. He says, "You coming?" Barnabas says, "In a moment." And he's just looking around like it's the first time he's been there, but he's just looking around. So Willie says, "Well, what are you thinking about?" Barnabas, "I'm thinking what a pity it is that I should have to defile the family tomb with the body of Jason McGuire." Willie, "Oh, that's right. It's your family in here, isn't it?" Barnabas, "Well, this was to have been our final resting place, but I never found rest or peace." So Willie's got his flashlight there. He's shining it on the three plaques on the wall. He's shining it over at those. Gets his flashlight on the one farthest from the camera. He says, "Joshua Collins. That was your father, wasn't it?" Barnabas, He could have brought me peace, but he didn't. He thought he was being merciful, but what he did was no act of mercy. Willie shines his light on the middle plaque there. He says, Naomi Collins. Barnabas, my mother. Willie, I saw a picture of her once. She was very beautiful. Barnabas, I remember her as being very quiet. She was a very gentle woman. So Willie shines his light on that last plaque there. He says, Sarah Collins. That was your sister. Barnabas, yes. And we get a good look at the Sarah's plaque. This must be the first time we're seeing it. It says Sarah Collins, born 1786, died 1796. Bruh, that's sad. Willie says, there isn't much in the family histories about her. Barnabas, she died when she was very young. She was only 9 years old. The day before she died, she broke her doll and asked me to mend it for her. She was so happy when she saw the doll mended. She died with it in her arms. Willie says, you really cared about her, didn't you? Barnabas, yes, she was very sweet, very dear to me. Willie, was she the friend you were talking about before? Barnabas, perhaps. Willie, strange, thinking about you caring about someone. Barnabas, well, we've lingered here long enough. It's time to go. Come. So Barnabas heads out. Willie just sort of takes one last little look around, and then he takes off as well. Then the camera pans back over to the far corner of the room. Now Sarah's standing there by Joshua's plaque on the wall, but she's holding her doll. And she just walks up to her own sarcophagi and sits on it, and she's just cradling her doll. How did she get it back? Because last we saw it, Maggie had it. Is it the ghost of the doll? Since Maggie's got a real one that people can touch? I don't know. I don't think that gets explained. So yeah, I guess R.I.P. to Jason. That's a hell of a way to go. But it was totally avoidable. But dude was hella greedy, and that was more important to him. So there we go. How many deaths is that on the show now? Because we had Bill Malloy, we had Matthew Morgan, Dr. Guthrie, Laura Collins, Jason makes 5. Is that right? Am I missing anybody? So yeah, kind of like the only reason I am kind of sad to see him go. Like, yes, I don't like him fucking with Liz, but he's really fun to watch. He's a fun actor. But he had to put up with the first Willie. He was really holding his shit down and carrying all the weight for the scenes he was in with him, because the first guy could not stop looking for the teleprompter, and it was just, he was I don't know anything else he's been in. Really fun to watch if you can find him in other stuff. I'm sure he's great. Interesting face too. I don't know if he's really Irish, but with the last name like Patrick. A fella named Dennis Patrick. Yeah, so it was fun to have around, even though he was a dick to Liz. So episode 277 aired on July 18th, 1967. I didn't catch that the next day happened in the last episode. So uh, this may be right. So if they buried Jason, okay, so like it had been day 90 when Jason broke into the old house, and then during the middle of the night, it became day 91 because the next thing that we see, it's nighttime because Barnabas is awake, and it's like a whole day has gone by, and now we're in the next night, but I have it correct here is day 91. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay because okay, um 90, it was 91, and now it's still 91. It just like because it hasn't been midnight past midnight again. So um I'm okay. It's all right. I thought I fucked up real bad, but I don't think so. Because it's not like they killed him and buried him, and oh it's fine, it's fine, okay, it's fine, it's fine. So what it is, now it's still it's day 91, but it's like, okay, again, like I was saying, like they buried him at 2 or 3 a.m, and then the whole day came by, and then it's nighttime again, so like it could be like 7:30 p.m now, just after sunset. So it's still day 91, so it's okay. I thought I fucked up so bad, but I didn't. All right. Awesome. I saved myself. But it is day 91. It's nighttime. We're back to Victoria doing the intro. And she's talking about there's a guy, this fella searching for a relationship that can never be real. Like, you're not just going to turn some chick into your old girlfriend. It doesn't matter how much stuff you give her or how many nice rooms you let her live in. It's just Barnabas is just chasing a dream that can never be. But it's not going to stop him. It's just he's doing an impossible thing. But it is night. We're in Josette's room, and Barnabas is playing Josette's music box. But then he stops. Willie comes in. He's wearing that light colored turtleneck, but it's untucked. Everybody always tucks in their shirts. I'm like, why does this shirt look different? He just doesn't have it tucked in. I mean, it's okay. It's just not like there's no belt to discuss because we can't see it. Oh, okay. All right. You're allowed to. I mean, I guess Barnabas doesn't have a rule about tucking in your shirt, but I just okay, I noticed that. But Willie comes in, he tells Barnabas, he says, I checked around town. The talk is Jason left town because the sheriff ordered him to. Barnabas, then there's no suspicion. Willie, no, none at all. No one really cared about him. Barnabas, but you did. Willie, well, we went through a lot together. Barnabas, that's all in the past now. Willie, yeah, the past. I'll forget about him. Barnabas, don't forget about him completely. Remember what happened to him. Willie, I knew you'd be up here. You've been spending a lot of time up here. Barnabas, I've been thinking about many things. The future, my plans. I've decided to wait no longer. This room will be occupied very soon. Willie, well, if another girl disappears the same way Maggie did, they might become suspicious. Barnabas, it won't be the same. Miss Evans came here unwillingly. The next one will come of her own free will. Willie, well, that's impossible. Barnabas, Don't underestimate me. That's a great error. And if I find you being the least bit uncooperative, you'll regret it. Willie, I'll cooperate. Barnabas, things have been all too depressing as of late. It's time for a change. This house must become a more inviting place. I know. I will invite the Collins family here for a gathering. Willie, what do you mean? Barnabas, a dinner party would be too formal, too unrelaxed. Elizabeth hasn't seen the restoration of this house. That will be my excuse for the party. But there has to be another element. So there's Josette's dress lying on the bed. He picks that up. He says, of course, a costume party. Everyone will come dressed in the costume of that period. And Miss Winters will wear Josette's dress. Oh, what's up, John Rogers? Glad you made it. Says hello, everyone. I just came back from Missouri. Oh, cool. I saw a picture that you posted on Facebook. That's cool. How was it? How was the weather? Was the food good? So it's we're in the living room at Collinwood now. Liz is wearing it's the dark dress with long sleeves. It's got lace all up around the collar and down the front a little bit, and also on the sleeves, and the double pearl earrings. And she's there at that desk. She's just working on some paperwork there. So Roger comes in. He says, "Why must you spend so much time going through the company accounts?" Liz, because it has to be done. Oh, John Rogers says it was very hot. Ooh, that sucks. We had a shitload of rain about a week ago. Maybe a fuck ton because we had a flood warning. Roger asks her, well, why can't it be done during the day down at the office? Like, why don't you come down there? Liz, I can't. Roger, why not? The reason for your staying in the house no longer exists. Don't you think it's about time you thought of getting out? Liz, yes, I guess so. Roger, do you realize that you haven't seen all of the improvements in addition to the cannery? Liz, I realize there are a lot of things I haven't seen. All right, I will. Roger, good. I'll take you on the grand tour. They'll be so delighted to see you down there again. But Liz, oh, thank you. I appreciate it. John says, I was on my way down and it rained hard. Oh man. If you're like me, every time I leave town and come back, like if I go on like a long trip, I mean not just in a walking back, but if I go on a long trip, every single time I come back to town, I have to drive through the rain. Every single time. I don't know, is it a Pennsylvania thing? I don't know what, but it's every time, every time, every time. Roger says, but I may regret having you come down there. You may like it so much you'll want to take over the whole place. Liz, oh, don't worry, I'll leave that job to the others. Roger, speaking of jobs, now that Jason is no longer employed there, is it safe to assume his position won't be filled? Liz, quite safe. Roger, I would like to know exactly where is Jason? Liz, is there a doubt in your mind that he's gone? Roger. Well, that wardrobe you bought him still in his room. Roger's over there pouring a drink. Says he has very expensive tastes. I don't think he would leave it behind. Liz says, yes, he would have taken them. Roger, and his other personal things are still there. A man usually takes his razor when he travels. Liz, you mean he left everything? Roger, everything. One thing is certain, he didn't leave by bus or train. The sheriff was checking. No one saw him leave Collinsport. No one is sure that he's gone. Liz, well, if I know Jason, he's gone. He had far too much pride to allow himself to stay in a place where he'd been defeated. Roger, he was last seen in the Blue Whale having a drink with Willie. That turned into an argument. They left separately, and that was the last time he was seen. Liz, oh, Victoria saw him there too. She told she told him off. Roger, good for her. Liz, he told her he was going. Roger, well, I'd like to get his room fumigated. Liz, I'll have Mrs. Johnson pack his things, and if we don't hear from him, we'll donate them to charity. Roger, oh, I like that idea. He'd hate it. Dude, that would piss him off, Liz says. I'm quite sure we've seen the last of Jason McGuire. Oh, I'd like that idea. He'd hate it. Making sure the screens are right. I'm not used to having this little fan blowing next to me. Now we're at the front door outside there of Collinwood. Barnabas walks up and he knocks. And we hear howling out in the distance. It's been a while since that happened. But Victoria opens the door, invites him in. Barnabas says, I was just enjoying the view of the ocean. Have you noticed it tonight? So Victoria steps outside with him. She says, no, I haven't. Barnabas, Jeremiah Collins certainly knew what he was doing when he built the house on this site. Victoria, well, yes, I've admired the view there time and time again. Barnabas, the moon and the sea seem as one tonight. Victoria, makes a lovely scene. Barnabas, perhaps that's why I'm in such a good mood. I like the night very much. Do you? Victoria, sometimes. Barnabas, I prefer it. I find the daylight harsh and cruel, whereas the night is kind and soft. Victoria, I think that the night can be as cruel as the day. It all depends on the circumstances. Barnabas, but see how beautiful the moon is. When one considers that the moon takes its beauty by reflecting the rays of the sun, it seems inconceivable that the sun could be so ugly. Victoria, I don't think the sun is ugly. Barnabas, well, one cannot even look upon it without being blinded. It burns the skin and scorches the earth. Victoria, but our whole universe revolves around it. We can't exist without it. Barnabas, for me, it is to be avoided rather than adored. Victoria, man was designed to live with it. Barnabas, and I have been redesigned to live without it. Victoria, what do you mean? Barnabas, simply that I find myself more active and alive at night. Victoria, but then when do you sleep? Barnabas, I find the time. I sleep for 1 minute at sunrise and another minute at sunset. Barnabas goes on. He says, I enjoy talking to you, Miss Winters. I only regret that I haven't been able to devote more time to you. Victoria, well, I'm sure you've been very busy. Barnabas, I look forward to future discussions with you on such other things as life and death. We hear that howling again. So they go inside into the foyer. Oh, they're playing that music that I like. Wonder why they're playing it there. Victoria says, I see you have quite an interest in philosophy. Barnabas, yes, I do. My education in that subject was both formal and practical. And I'm delighted to see that you also find it interesting. I have a number of books that would interest you. Please feel free to borrow them at any time. Victoria, thank you. Barnabas, I know that you have a great interest in history and have acquired some rare volumes that any historian would be eager to see. Victoria, well, you must have a very interesting library. Barnabas, what I have is a museum of sorts. And now that I've restored the interior of the house, I've been seeking to find a way of recreating a moment out of the past. And I have some marvelous plans that I know you'll be interested in. That's why I'm here tonight. Victoria, what are they? Barnabas, you'll find out soon enough. So he asks where his cousins are. Victoria says, well, Mrs. Stoddard is in the living room with Roger. So Barnabas, well, would you tell them, please, that I'd like to speak with them for a few minutes? Victoria says, well, of course. She knocks on the door, lets them know that Barnabas is there, so they invite him in. Like, hell yeah, dude, send him in. They invite Barnabas in. We're all in the living room now. Roger says, oh, how nice of you to drop by. You live so near, and yet we never see you. Barnabas, that is a fault of mine that I want to rectify right away. That's why I've come. I'd like Miss Winters to hear what I'm about to say. Liz invites Victoria to have a seat. Barnabas says, I have an idea that I hope will appeal to all of you. Something that we could use right now, particularly you, Elizabeth. I think it is time that we all had a pleasant experience. Roger, well, I'm all for that. Barnabas, I've completed restoration on most of the old house, and it's very much like it was originally. And I would like to show it to all of you. Liz, how very nice of you. Barnabas, and for that reason, I would like to have a small party for you, a family party. Roger, well, I think that's an excellent idea. Barnabas, but not just an ordinary party. This is to be a costume party. Liz, what sort of costumes? Barnabas, costumes of the period, of the people that lived in that house. Or the people who lived in that house. Everyone is to come wearing a costume of the Collins family. What do you think, Miss Winters? Victoria, oh, I think it sounds wonderful. Roger, I think it's just what this family needs to pick it up. When do you plan to have it? Barnabas, this Friday night, if it doesn't conflict with your plans. Roger, well, no plans, but it is rather short notice to get costumes for it. Barnabas, I've already considered that problem, and I've taken the responsibility of getting them. They are the clothes that our ancestors wore. I found them very carefully stored. Liz, you mean that we'd be wearing those clothes? Barnabas, yes. But I assure you they will be immaculate and in perfect condition. Roger. Well, I accept your invitation. Barnabas. Excellent. And you, Miss Winters? And Victoria says, well, of course. And thank you for thinking enough of me to invite me. Barnabas. I think a great deal of you. Of all of you. Elizabeth, you most of all. You will come, won't you? Liz. I don't think so. What? Buzzkill? So it must be later on. We see Roger coming from the kitchen door and heading into the living room. Yeah, Liz is already there. Roger says, well, Barnabas is waiting in the study. Liz says, you shouldn't have asked him to wait because I have no intention of changing my mind. Roger, well, I intend to change it for you. I'd never seen a look of disappointment so much as on his face. Liz, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, but there's no reason why you all can't go to the party without me." Roger, Barnabas wouldn't give the party without you. Liz, well, I think it's unfair to blame me entirely for the canceling of a party. I thought it was being given to display the restoration of the old house. Roger, it's a combination of both. Now give me one good reason why you can't go. Liz, because I don't want to, and that's sufficient. Roger, Barnabas is taking this as a personal rejection. Liz, well, he shouldn't. Roger, we've gone over this earlier tonight. You're behaving like a recluse again. Liz, I don't want to hear that word again. Roger, well, then stop acting like one. Barnabas is giving you a wonderful opportunity to have fun. Come on, Liz, give us a chance to feel like we're doing something. Liz, you're right about what I should do, but there's something about this party that doesn't seem right to me. All this living in the past. Roger, I think it's the most charming idea I've heard in a long time. What do you say? Liz, I don't know. Roger, oh, Liz, you'll go. And if you don't really enjoy yourself, I'll make some excuse for you and bring you home. Liz, all right, I'll go. Roger, wonderful. So he steps out of the living room and he just sort of hollers towards the kitchen door, yelling for Victoria to ask Barnabas to come in. Liz says, I hope everything's going to turn out the way you think it will. Roger, he has excellent taste. This is going to be the party of the century. So Barnabas and Victoria come back in. Roger says, Barnabas, good news. Tell him, Liz. Liz says, I accept your invitation and look forward to a wonderful evening. Barnabas, oh, that's splendid. I can't tell you how happy I am. Roger, tell us about your plans. Barnabas, each of us is to come as a member of the Collins family. Roger, I already know you're going to be coming as the first Barnabas Collins. Your namesake. Barnabas, yes, my namesake. Roger, I assume you have a role picked out for me. Barnabas, yes, you will be Joshua Collins. Roger, oh, that would make me your father. Barnabas, that's correct. So Liz asks, and who will I be? Barnabas, you will be Naomi Collins. Liz, that's very appropriate. There is a resemblance. Victoria, and who will I be? Barnabas, you will be Josette Collins. We see Josette's room for the credits. I'm glad I made a note of this because I've been noticing it. There's something very forlorn about the still shots for the credits. I don't know if it's just the music, or are we sad because the episode's over? It's just something about seeing these rooms with nobody in them, and nobody's going to be coming into the scene. It's sad. I know there's more episodes, but it's like, oh. I don't like listening to the credit. It's not that I don't like the credits music, but I just don't like listening to it. It makes me sad. Maybe it's just me, but it's episode 278 aired on July 19th, 1967. And I just had a thought. I'll save that for a second. It's day 92. We get Victoria doing the intro. I was just thinking how it's messed up. Barnabas just killed a guy, and then he turns around like, "I want to have a party." But again, day 92. It's nighttime. We're in the drawing room at the old house. Barnabas is talking to Willie. He says, "I've made a very simple request. I don't know why you should hesitate." Now Willie's got that same light turtleneck on, but he's got it tucked in. He's saying, says, "Because the clothes on that trunk will never be worn." Barnabas, "Willie, I'm in far too fine a frame of mind to listen to you." Willie, "I know you're thinking you can persuade Mrs. Stoddard and Miss Winters to come to a costume party, but I told you they won't do it." Barnabas, "I'm aware of your pessimism, Willie, but I intend to ignore it." Willie, "They'll laugh at you when you ask them, and then you'll get angry. They'll never accept." Barnabas, "How fortunate for me that you are merely my servant and not my adviser. I asked my cousins and Miss Winters last night, and they accepted." Willie, "They didn't laugh at you?" Barnabas, "No, on the contrary. Now, will you please bring down the trunk to Josette's room? I'll be waiting for you there." So Willie leaves through the door there next to the fireplace. So, also distracted watching this episode. Now we're up in Josette's room, and Willie is pushing the trunk in front of Barnabas. So he's kind of there at the foot of the bed a little bit, but that's where Willie shoves the trunk in front of him. And the camera's right behind him, and I'm not mad about that. Barnabas says, "Thank you. Open it, please." Willie opens up the trunk. It creaks open, and it just filled to the top with all kinds of clothes. So Willie says, "Is this the one?" Barnabas takes out there's a dress on top. He picks that up. He says, "Yes, this is the one." Willie, "And your cousins are actually going to wear these old clothes?" Barnabas, "Old? They look the same now as they did when they were first worn." Willie, "Just doesn't seem like the kind of thing Mrs. Stoddard or Mr. Collins would do." Barnabas, "Well, the Collins family have always been responsive to anything imaginative." So he takes that dress over and he lies it down across the bed. Says, "Besides, I believe I had more than one advocate." Willie, "Advocate?" Barnabas, "Someone to state my case." Willie, "Well, who was that?" Barnabas, "Well, Roger for one, and Miss Winters." Willie, "Miss Winters?" Barnabas, "Well, she was enchanted with the idea. The way her eyes brightened when I suggested it." Willie, "She helped persuade the others to go along with the whole idea?" Barnabas, of course, and I intend to show her my gratitude. Willie, how? Barnabas, you already know. Willie, I think you should stay away from her. Barnabas, it would be rude of me not to invite her. My cousins accept her as one of the family. Why shouldn't I? Willie, because that's not what you're really doing. Barnabas, oh, and what am I really doing? Willie, you know as well as I do. You said so yourself. She never hurt anybody, and nobody should hurt her. Barnabas, I agree. Willie, hey, you know that isn't true. Barnabas, I intend to create an exquisite and entertaining evening for her. How could that possibly harm her? Willie, there's more to it than that. She's coming as Josette, isn't she? Barnabas, of course. It seems a logical choice, and I thought that you might appreciate that. Willie, does it have to be Vicky? Barnabas, now, Willie, I must warn you that you're beginning to irritate me. I don't want to hear any more of this. Is that understood? Willie, yes. Barnabas, good. Now I have to make a call on Elizabeth. So Barnabas starts heading towards the door, but Willie says something. He stops him. He says, Barnabas, wait. Barnabas, what is it? Willie, it's dangerous. Don't do it. I'm not talking about Vicky now. I'm talking about the whole party. All those people coming in here, giving them the idea they can start coming around anytime they feel like it. Now, you know that's not what you want. Barnabas, that can be handled in due time. Willie, don't do it, Barnabas. Don't have the party. Barnabas, not have the party? When all my plans were going so nicely? No, please, that's out of the question. And please, no more thinly veiled arguments about Miss Winters. You told me that I could expect your complete cooperation. Please don't make me alter that expectation. It may lead you into a great deal of trouble. Barnabas leaves. Willie takes the dress off of the bed and just lies it back down in the trunk, closes the lid. How dare you talk to me about my plans, Willie? I sort of get what Willie's upset about. Like, he doesn't want people. He doesn't want to have to start worrying about chasing people away again, and that's all this is gonna do. So it's just gonna make his job harder. And of course, Barnabas doesn't care about that. Oh, what's up, B chap? Glad you made it. So we're in Collinwood in the living room, and Barnabas is there talking to Liz and Victoria. He's saying, well, if you have no plans this evening for Miss Winters, and if she would herself consent, perhaps she would come over and help me select the clothes for the party. Victoria, I'd love to. Liz is wearing that dress that I like. It's the one where it's dark fabric and it's got the shiny fabric at the collar that looks like it's folded forward, folded over. She's got like the teeny tiny itty bitty pearls, bunch of pearls. She's got that brooch on. Double pearl earrings. Usually she's not wearing a necklace with this outfit, but we can see she's wearing her double strand of pearl necklaces. It's got a really high collar, but okay, she's wearing her pearls with it. It's cool. But Liz is saying, well, that she's completely free this evening. Barnabas, so then you'll come. Victoria, of course. I love going through trunks of old clothes, and I think I pretty well know everyone's size. Barnabas, in that case, I'd be extremely grateful for your help. Liz, Barnabas, I know I've accepted your invitation, but I'm not so sure that I can come. I know I said I would. Do we really have to come in those clothes you found? Victoria. But that's the whole idea behind the party. When we wear those dresses that they actually wore in those days, it'll be just like an evening out of the past. Barnabas. I have seen the clothes, and I can assure you that they're in excellent repair. Why, they look exactly as they did when they were first worn. Victoria. How would you know that? Barnabas. I mean, they seem to be as fine now as they must have been back then. How would you know that? I just assume, I guess. Educated guess. Liz says, that bothers me even more, coming as actual people out of the past. Victoria, but that's the fun of it. Liz, well, I'm not superstitious, believe me. Barnabas, you think our ancestors would resent our masquerading in their clothes? Liz, no, but I feel there's something wrong about getting that close to the past. Barnabas, well, if you'll allow me to say it, perhaps you are a bit superstitious. Liz, I never used to be. Maybe it's just because I've lived so close to the family past all my life. As a Collins, I'm sure our ancestors must sometimes be as real to you as the people living in the present. Barnabas, yes, perhaps sometimes. Liz, they have so much reality for me as it is. They seem so close even now. I'm not sure I want to do anything to bring them any closer. Victoria, well, that doesn't sound like you at all, Mrs. Stoddard. Liz, I know, because I've never felt this way before, but I do now. NT, what's up? I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. Michael Scott. He can be overwhelmed and underwhelmed, but can he just be whelmed? Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine Liz like tossing salt over her shoulder if she spills the salt or something, but I don't know. Like the fact that she doesn't have to deal with Jason anymore. Maybe that's sort of changing her. She can look more towards the future now that she doesn't have the past hanging over her, so she probably doesn't want to spend any time doing anything retro since she doesn't have to. I don't know. It's still fresh for her. But Liz just feels this way now. Barnabas says, well, surely you're not afraid. Liz, maybe I am. Couldn't we come as we are? Victoria, I don't understand why you should be afraid of this. Liz, well, neither do I. Barnabas, and there's nothing I can say to lessen your fears? Liz, you might forgive my foolishness. Barnabas, no, no forgiveness is necessary. If it is your wish, we can dispose of the cloak, of the costumes. Victoria, and I guess I won't be able to wear one of those lovely dresses that belong to Josette. Barnabas, oh, you looked forward to it a great deal, didn't you? Victoria, yes, I guess I did. Barnabas, well, perhaps there will be another occasion. Victoria, I hope so. Liz, you really were looking forward to the costumes as much as the party itself, weren't you, Vicky? Victoria, it's all right. Mr. Collins said perhaps there will be another time. Liz, it needn't be another time. I have no right to spoil everyone else's pleasure. Oh, Victoria, then it will be Josette after all? Barnabas, that really pleases you, doesn't it? Victoria, "Oh, very, very much." So now we're in Josette's room, and the trunk is sitting there closed, and Sarah is sitting on top of it, just tossing a ball up in the air. But from outside the door, we hear Barnabas saying, he's like, "Well, I had Willie put the trunk in here." And they open up the door. And of course, when the camera pulls back, Sarah's not there, but Victoria and Barnabas walk in. Victoria says, "This was her room." Barnabas, "Yes." But then it's like he notices something, like the vibes are off. He's just like the trunk's over here, and he's like something else got his attention or something like that. Victoria says, "I wonder if she was as lovely as this room." "What's the matter?" Barnabas, "Nothing, merely an odd sensation when entering the room." Victoria, "As though someone were in here. I feel it too." Barnabas, "Nonsense. Now here's the trunk." But he's still like noticing just something's off. Something's not sitting right with him. But Victoria opens up the trunk. Barnabas takes out a dress, holds it up for Victoria to see. She says, "It's exquisite. Who did it belong to?" Barnabas, "You have only to look at the portrait to know." And he hands it over to Victoria. She says, "It was Josette's." Barnabas, "Do you like it?" Victoria, "It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." She holds it up to herself. She says, "It would be a perfect fit." Barnabas, "Then you must wear it." Victoria, "No, I couldn't. It's much too fine and elegant." Barnabas, "All the more reason for it to be yours." Victoria, "You're the most gallant man I've ever met. Sometimes I think you belong to a completely different time than ours." Barnabas, "Oh?" Victoria looks up at Josette's picture. She says, "More to her time. Perhaps that's why the old house suits you so perfectly." Barnabas, "Given the choice, which time would you prefer? Hers or ours?" Victoria, "I don't know, but I think if I could wear dresses like this all the time, I'd be very happy and very vain." So she takes the dress and lies it down on the bed, and then she pulls out another dress from the trunk, takes a look at it. She says, "I think this one would do very well for Carolyn. Who would she be?" Looking inside, she said, "Oh, wait, there's a monogram in here. MC." It doesn't stand for Minecraft. Barnabas says she'd be Millicent Collins. Victoria, "Oh, she'll like that." Hands the dress over to Barnabas. He lies down on the bed. Then Victoria takes out a coat. She says, "I wonder if Roger could wear this." Barnabas, "No, that isn't the right one. From the portraits I've seen, I can tell that this belongs to Jeremiah Collins." Victoria, "Josette's husband." Barnabas, "I'm sure we'll find something of Joshua's for Roger." So instead of lying it on the bed, he just sort of drapes it over the lid of the trunk. Well, the next thing they pull out, it's another man's coat. Apparently, that's Joshua's. So he sets that on the bed with the other clothes. So then Victoria picks up. It's another dress, but it's smaller dress. She says, "Look, a little girl's dress." Barnabas, "Where did you get that?" Victoria, "Here in the trunk." Like I had it in my pocket, huh? Danny Josette's husband, eh? Yeah, they were married. That's canon. But, Victoria pulls out the little girl's dress. Barnabas asks, "Where did you get that?" Victoria says it was here in the trunk. Who do you think it was? Barnabas, I'm not certain, but there was a child, the daughter of Naomi and Joshua Collins. Victoria, she would have been the little sister of the first Barnabas Collins. Do you know anything about her? Barnabas, she died very young, they say. Victoria, I'm sorry. Barnabas, they say she was a lovely child. They say her brother loved her very much. Victoria, you sound as though you knew her. Barnabas, well, Elizabeth was right. For members of the Collins family, sometimes the ancestors are a bit too real. So he takes that dress and lies it on the bed with the rest of the clothes. Victoria, I can understand that. I think if I knew who my ancestors were, I'd want to learn everything I could about them. And then I'd love them or hate them as though they were real people. Barnabas, would you? Victoria, maybe not. If I knew who they were, maybe I'd feel free to forget about them. I don't know. Barnabas, you miss family identity, don't you? Victoria, sometimes. Barnabas, you'll find out soon enough. Victoria, what do you mean? Barnabas, if you become Josette, you'll take on her whole character. Her very lineage will be yours. Victoria, become Josette? Barnabas, yes, the evening of the party. Victoria, oh yes. But I seriously doubt that wearing her dress and being in her house will be the same as being her. Although I must say I like the idea. Barnabas, you do? Victoria, anyway, for the evening. Barnabas, yes, for the evening. So now we're back in the living room at Hollinwood, and Victoria is there talking to Liz, and she's got Josette's dress. She's holding it up. She's very excited. She said, "Mr. Collins said Willie would bring the costumes over in the morning, but I couldn't bear to part with mine. Have you ever seen anything so beautiful?" Liz, oh, it's lovely. Victoria, and wait till you see the one you're gonna wear. Naomi's dress. Oh, why can't we dress like this all the time? Liz, I think we'd tire of it very quickly. Victoria, never. Liz, you seem to share Barnabas's love of the past. Victoria, he has the most extraordinary knowledge of the Collins family. Liz, it's something of an evocation for him. Victoria, you know something? It's almost as though he belongs to a completely different time from ours. When he talks about the past, it's as though it's something he's remembering, not something he learned. Liz, you've become incurably romantic. Victoria, maybe. I wonder if that isn't why he always seems a little bit sad, a little bit lost. Because he is lost in the present. He really does come from another time. I'll never find it because it's gone forever. So we're in Josette's room again. Barnabas is playing the music, but there's a Willie knocking on the door. So Barnabas closes the lid, and tells Willie to come in. So Willie says, I saw her leave with the dress. Barnabas, in the morning you are to take the clothes on that bed to Collinwood. You can take the trunk up to the attic after the party. So Willie walks over to the bed, And he picks up the dress on top, that little girl's dress. Got this music playing again. Willie looks down at the dress. He says, "Where did this come from?" Barnabas, "Well, from the trunk." Willie, "This was in the trunk with all those old clothes?" Barnabas, "Yes. Why do you ask?" Willie, "But this was the kind of dress. Oh, it couldn't have been." Barnabas, "What are you mumbling about?" Willie, "Nothing." Barnabas, "Yes, you were. What was it about that dress?" Willie, "Well, remember that little girl I told you about who was playing outside the house?" Barnabas, "Yes, what about her?" Willie, "She was wearing a dress almost exactly like this one." Barnabas, "What?" Willie, "That's what it looked like." Barnabas, "Don't be ridiculous. This dress was worn by a little girl a long time ago." Willie, "I don't think I'm wrong." Barnabas, "Well, obviously you are. Now come, I have things for you to do other than make preposterous statements." Willie, "She had long hair." Barnabas, "I'm not interested. Now come." So Barnabas leaves the room. Willie just puts the dress down with the other ones, and he takes off as well. Closes the door behind himself. Camera turns back over, and there's Sarah back in the corner of the room. She walks up to the bed, picks up that dress. She says, "My dress! I found my blue dress." She walks over to the mirror and pulls it up to herself, and then we see Josette's room for the credits. It must be light blue. It's all these ladies' clothes are rather light colored. Like she couldn't open that trunk, being a ghost. I don't know, but I'm happy she found her dress that she likes too. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm glad you guys had a couple of extra hours to hang out with me on a Saturday. R.I.P. to Jason McGuire. I guess I'll miss the actor more than the character. I get he was a jerk character, but fun actor to watch. Smash the like button on the way out. That does help out the channel. Make sure you are subscribed. That also helps out the channel. Yeah, again, you can watch Dark Shadows for free on Tubi right now. Link in the channel description and the show description. Low key, look out for the last Friday of this month for me to be doing a balcony chat. I think it's the 28th, the last Friday of the month. So look out for that. Don't forget your pants. I hope everybody had fun. These are so much fun to do. It's nice to do these when it's not sweaty outside as well. Get some cooler temperatures up here. So you guys are all the best. Dandy says, "Great night again, Nikki. You deserve an Emmy. LOL." Oh my God, thank you. A regular, yeah, a regular Emmy, not a daytime Emmy. Either one. Lisa Grace says, "Lurk was busy chefing supper." Oh, thanks, Nikki dear. Yeah, sure thing, no problem. I hope you guys had fun. I had fun too. You guys are the best. Stay based and sexy. And you guys help me have something positive to focus on. And I'm just nervous about this chiming off of the battery. Um, right, you guys help me get through all the bullshit. So thank you guys for being awesome and cool and all that good stuff. I'll definitely be seeing you in a chat room this week, and then we'll do something similar to this next time. Maybe we'll get onto that party, see how that goes. Nobody's thrown a party on this show before. I hope they have a good time. So thank you guys again. Jen Rogers says, "Have a great night, everyone." And myself, yeah, you too. Have a great night. Get some good sleep. Get something to eat. Drink some water. Just chill out. Take it easy. And enjoy the last bit of summer we get here. About a month left of official summertime. Hopefully it'll be nice out for everybody. So take it easy. Pray for my electricity so it doesn't flicker so I can get work done. But I love you guys again. I know I said you guys are the best, but you really are. I want to go to says, thank you so much, Nikki. That was so fun. Tis well. Yeah, tis well. Love you guys again. Hugs and all that good stuff. Until next time.